It's late morning here on the north side of Houston, Texas, and the temperatures are definitely rising. So we went to turn on our air and we don't have it. And we haven't had any for a few days. I had to fight chest pains over that. But we're gonna try to figure that situation out. So that's why we're going on this morning, why you're not seeing me so much right this second. But I love you guys, and I've been watching. I have been watching, and the things that have been going on, like I'll report once ever so often, look at these headlines. They're getting bad. And this time it's like, what? You can tell that tipping point, we've reached it. We have reached it. And what we can do is go ahead and we should go ahead and start with likes. Hit like, subscribe. You might want to share this one. It definitely helps the channel. All links are in the description box that for every video that you need. And I know it's a lot earlier than usual, but let's go ahead. Now, we'll start with predictions for the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season will be extraordinary, forecasters warn. That's the title of this article that came out yesterday. The 2024 Atlantic hurricane season will be extraordinary, forecasters warn. This year's Atlantic hurricane season is expected to be extremely active. That would mean that, at least in part, the Gulf of Mexico water is hot, hot, hot. It's, hot water in the Gulf is hurricane crack, putting tens of millions of Americans in the eastern half of the country at risk from flooding and damaging winds. Forecasters at the National Hurricane Center warn the increased activity is partially caused by abnormally warm ocean temperatures driven by climate change. I spoiled that. Forecasters expect 17 to 25 storms to form in the Atlantic between June 1st and the end of November. That's a long time, the end of November. At least 8 of those are forecast to be full-blown hurricanes as opposed to weaker tropical storms, and 4 to 7 are expected to be major hurricanes with winds powerful enough to uproot trees, destroy mobile homes, and damage other buildings. It's the largest number of storms ever forecast for the Atlantic, well above the average of 14 storms that usually occur in a given hurricane season. This season is looking to be an extraordinary one, says Rick Spinrad. Hurricanes, now they're going to talk about what damage they've caused in the past, but I think we got the meat of that, don't you? All right. Hello, Watchman, Sunshine, and Joseph. It's good to see you guys here. I'm so glad to see you. You want to keep going? Because it's getting crazy. Because that's kind of stuff y'all probably already heard. Let's see here. Watch this. Okay. Disaster strikes agriculture industry as merciless phenomenon kills millions of livestock. The worst is yet to come. That's what the title of this article is. A cold weather disaster in Mongolia has left millions of livestock dead, resulting in a massive food shortage. A Dzud or Zood, I don't know how they pronounce that, a severe winter weather phenomenon has devastated nearly 6 million livestock. Mongolia has seen the most snow in 49 years, causing the deaths of well more than 5.9 million livestock. The number appears to have grown since this news article reported it. That's what it said. With the majority of the country's grazing land frozen over or covered in snow, animals were forced to freeze or starve to death, a trend that unfortunately continues until new grass sprouts in the spring. Why is this weather disaster concerning? While Mongolian herders are no strangers to merciless winters, the rising frequency has made their lives more difficult and uncertain. And that makes sense because, yes, while Houston is used to the humidity and flooding and hurricanes, the uptick has been horrible. I mean, just spring starting, we've had hurricane force winds and flooding, but there hasn't been a single hurricane or even a tropical storm. But we are experiencing things like the power outages and things like as though it had. And so I can see it. It's ramped up whatever is going on normally. It's somebody turned up the volume on that. Next article, because we were looking at Mongolia. We got to look around the world. We can't just look in one place. And that's how you see, yes, this is a global problem and how bad it's really getting. Brazil faces deadly floods, wild animal threats amidst climate crisis. The lives of Brazilian women and men have turned into a nightmare. For several weeks now, the inhabitants of South America have been battling enormous rains and flood. This is South America, Brazil. As a result of the disaster, 157 people have lost their lives. If I'm not mistaken, this is where 150,000 Brazilians had been displaced because of these floods. Now, this one is interesting. It's titled Watch. Wind turbine burns in Iowa after being destroyed by a tornado. And I thought that was funny because it's something that's built for wind, but that tornado just it was too much. That was too much wind. It was multiple tornadoes caused extensive damage in Iowa on Tuesday during severe weather that storm trackers across the region captured live on video. Nearly 24 tornadoes ripped through western and central parts of the Hawkeye state. Storm chaser Brandon Kopic's camera started recording a massive tornado that developed in western. Definitely a multi-vortex tornado in progress. All right. That was in Iowa. Now, Antarctica's Doomsday Glacier has miles of ocean water rushing beneath it as it melts faster than scientists estimated. And it's funny now because, I mean, on this one thing I was telling people years ago, I said, you need to be watching what's underneath your feet, the problems underneath your feet. And I even mentioned that because people were like, oh, well, if we're going through global warming, why is Antarctica still frozen? I'm like, because it's melting underneath and the climate is still the same on top, but it's hot underneath. And now, after everybody was like, thought I was crazy, it's like, we're seeing that was actually true. It sure is. But now water rushing beneath it as it melts faster than scientists estimated. And you got to understand these glaciers melting, that's bad news. Okay. It's going to make a bad situation even worse. Hello, D-Mark, Carol Shaw, Watchman. People still getting snow in Montana. I'm jealous. It's just hot, hot, hot here. No air conditioning. Yes, I had chest pains over it. I wish I had snow right now. I'd be happy. I would. Just makeup up. No makeup, just hair up kind of thing. Hope that I can put two words together that make sense, right? Nancy, solemn peace. D Moore, Watchman. All right. I think I said hello to everybody. I hope I did. All right. So what's next? All right. We got remote Scottish region hit with 18th earthquake in just 8 months. Scottish Highlands has suffered its 18th earthquake in just 8 months, as residents said it sounded like an explosion. A 1.3 magnitude tremor was recorded at Morvern at 6:34 on Monday. The British Geological Survey said it was felt by a resident in Kingairloch who described a faint sound like an explosion. A previous 2.8 quake on February 1st was felt by people in Acharacal, Stronchen, Highland, and Port Appin, Argyll, and Butte, all within 20 kilometers of the epicenter. So that is an earthquake in a diverse place. Prophecy fulfilled. Next article, another pandemic, rat hepatitis, discovered in humans for the first time. So now we're not just getting bird flu. Oh no. We can get rat hepatitis. God, I'm so glad I've got cats. Kill them things. That's just nasty. All right, all right. Now this next one, this goes to show you. I was right on the money the whole time about the oceans heating up. And that's cool. We know it now. But I mean, check this out. Boiling, not warming. Marine life suffers as high sea temperatures hit record. That's the title of this article. Boiling, not warming. So that's like an actual quote. Marine life suffers as high sea temps hit record. And aquatic life from coral reefs to fish in the Thailand's eastern Gulf Coast is suffering as sea surface temperatures hit record highs this month amid a regional heat wave, worrying scientists and local communities. The once vibrant and colorful corals about 5 meters underwater have turned white in a phenomenon known as coral bleaching, a sign that their health was deteriorating due to higher water temperatures. Sea surface temperatures in the eastern Gulf of Thailand reached 90 degrees earlier this month, Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius, while underwater readings are slightly warmer, with dive computers showing around 33 degrees Celsius, data shows. I couldn't find a single healthy coral. Almost all the species have bleached. There's very little that's not affected. If water temperatures do not cool, more coral will die. It's global boiling, not just global warming. Rising temperatures were also impacting other marine life and the livelihoods of local fishermen. And when it comes to the water and what we've been seeing, okay, sorry, it's too hot, y'all. I mean, not the best today, but that's why you see like the fish deaths and coral bleaching. And these fish deaths, you'll notice that some of these fish, they come up cooked and they're the bottom dwellers in these places. And they're talking about harder hurricane seasons, things like that. So then you hear that, oh, the Gulf of Mexico, one day you could just wake up and it's on fire. Not a problem. The whole thing, the whole Gulf of Mexico. Is that what you're trying to say? All right. Those are two gulfs on two different sides of the planet. This is a global problem, okay? And as these oceans keep heating up, right? That's when you start thinking about the chemicals that are flammable, because at some point there's a, gosh, I can't remember what it's called, a flashpoint, when the heat plus the chemicals ignite, okay? Plus, it affects the health of the fish, meaning they can be toxic or their growth can be stunted or they're just dead. They may not be producing at all because of sterility issues. And nature's like that. When there are environmental issues, birthing rates go down even for aquamarine life. And that affects the food chain. All right. It also affects the health of the water system in general because every species of fish that's down there has a job to help keep the ocean clean. It's their food, but it's their job. And if we start watching at what kind of species are dying off, then you can anticipate more and more problems. And in some cases, anticipate specific problems, like if the plankton were to disappear. Hello, Angela Taylor, Dreams in Color. Yes, a lot of us, millions of us are on the Gulf Coast and we are very worried about it. And people are still finding out around here that this is going to be hotter than last summer. And I know for a fact that everybody's air conditioner was having a really hard time last year. And then I went to turn one on this year. Nope. Went to go get the portable spare one. It's a glorified fan now, just blowing hot air. So all we have is fans. But yeah, just get ready, girl. This is the time, y'all, when we all just need to go ahead. Don't matter where you are, because things are happening in weird places. And it's like Instead of one tornado, you've got 12. Okay, you've got them going in the wrong direction, spinning in the wrong direction, backtracking. This is apocalyptic. So you have to stay ready no matter where you are. You have to have that water. You have to have that bug out plan. If you think that your area is about to be evacuated because you see a hurricane that you know is mass on the way, get out ahead of the crowd. You don't want to be stuck on that highway. You just don't. Get out. Just get out. This is not the year to say, I was born here, I will die here. This is not the year to start saying, I will ride it out. I've been here all my life. This isn't that kind of time. Things are getting worse. And these articles that I'm showing you, they are proof. This is where it's advancing, and the articles are coming faster and faster. But if you're not paying attention, the news isn't just going to come out and put all these dots together for you. And a lot of you might not have the time or the health to pursue it yourself. So this is my way of saying, look, you might hear that this and this is happening, but when you put it all together, and everybody's weather is getting really bad. Now we're heading for famine and drought this year. And I don't know if you've been reading these articles on the farmers, what they're saying, but they're saying, watch for the items on the shelves to disappear. They're saying it again. And last time they said that, it did. We have pictures and videos of empty shelves everywhere. Yes, the fresh water from Arctic melt causing Gulf Stream shutdown, and during the dump. Yep, you're right about that, solemn piece. Lynn. Praise God. Yes. Yeah, I'm not tired. This is more of a swollen face from the heat. All the sweating. I'm getting a little bloated corpsey kind of thing going on. And it's, it's hot. It's hot when it's still 80 degrees at midnight in your house. And that was the lower temperature of things for the day. Yeah. So it's been pretty bad. I just want y'all to be safe. I really do. I want y'all to be safe. I want you to stay ready. I want you to talk about this with people around you in your immediate circle. Bring up things like, oh, did you know we're supposed to have an insane hurricane season? They're expecting double the hurricanes that they usually name every year. Information like that can help somebody, because you know how people are. The grapevine that's faster than the internet. When you start talking that word of mouth, that's really fast, and it can really save some lives. So everybody in the United States, for some reason or another, needs to be careful. East Coast, Gulf Coast, California coast, West Coast. Anyway, I love you. I want y'all all to have a really good day. I'm gonna start looking around on the internet and see what sorry, I'm just little seizure there. See what cooling things I can get for the house. See, it's cooking my brain, y'all. I love you. God bless you. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.